Steven Bannon, former Trump propagandist Steven Bannon, awaiting sentencing. He is now potentially facing 6 months in jail and a $200,000 fine. CNBC reports the Department of Justice wants Steve Bannon jailed for 6 months for contempt of Congress, but ex-Trump aide is asking for probation. This is typical. Prosecution usually asks for a stricter punishment than the person who is about to be sentenced. The key points, as reported by CNBC. Federal prosecutors recommended Steve Bannon get 6 months in jail for defying that subpoena from the congressional probe of the January 6th Capitol riot. Remember, what is at issue here is that the January 6th committee subpoenaed Steve Bannon and he ignored it. That's called contempt of Congress. And indeed, that is what he will be ultimately sentenced for. The DOJ also sought a $200,000 fine for Bannon, who was a senior advisor in former President Donald Trump's White House. The DOJ recommended the maximum fine and top sentence under the federal guidelines range because of Bannon's consistent, quote, bad faith strategy of defiance and contempt. Bannon's lawyers are asking the federal court for a sentence of probation. Now, there are some who are reacting to this and have emailed me and said, David, I don't like Steve Bannon as much as the next person, but this is just too high. I mean, 6 months for defying a subpoena, that's bonkers. On the other hand, there are people who wrote it and said, this is actually really serious. If we actually are for law and order and we respect separation of powers and we respect the constitutionally assigned task of the House of Representatives to conduct investigations, then you have to take really seriously what Steve Bannon did, because he deliberately, willingly, brazenly, I would argue, obstructed the House of Representatives from carrying out its constitutionally assigned task, and that needs to be taken really seriously. You can make arguments on both sides. I do believe that this needs to be taken seriously, and I know that the stricter the penalty for Stephen Bannon, the more he and other Trumpists will make him out to be a martyr, someone who was made an example out of for no reason other than the MAGA people are being attacked and whatever else. But you've still got to assign the penalties that are appropriate for the wrongdoing that was done, and it should be taken seriously. So we have the sentencing coming up. Let me see if I can find the actual date here in the article. He's going to be sentenced Friday. Okay, so by the beginning of next week, we will know about that. However, his lawyers also asked to stay any sentence imposed pending the outcome of an appeal. So once the sentence happens, it's not likely that if jail is assigned, that he's going to serve that anytime soon, because they have already made clear they plan to appeal and will ask for a stay of that sentence. 6 months, too high, too low? Let me know in the YouTube comments, on Twitter, email in info@davidpakman.com. The science tells us that one of the best ways to get consistent deep sleep is lowering your core body temperature. When your body stays cooler at night, you're more comfortable and your sleep is better. Our sponsor, Sleep Me, is the home of Chili Sleep, the customizable, climate-controlled sleep solutions that can improve your sleep by keeping you cooler at night. There are 3 different Chili Sleep systems. There's the Uller, the Cube, and the new Dock Pro with double the cooling power. All 3 systems are water-based, temperature-controlled mattress toppers that fit over your existing mattress to provide you with your ideal sleep temperature. You can go as cool as 55 degrees. You can go really hot if you want. I keep mine at 60, beautiful temperature for me. Don't wake up hot and sweaty. Chili Sleep keeps me asleep all night. It feels great. I didn't know it was possible to love sleeping even more than I already did. Go to sleep.me/Pacman to learn more and get 25% off your new Chili Sleep system. Click the link below to start staying cool at night.